Shut up.
So the best thing you can do is
my God.
right?
He's pulling out Dale Carnegie.
Listen,
you're
pissing me off.
I'm leaving this. I'm walking off. That's so corny. I'm out.
JC's out. Mike and I will sit here and wrap up the show.
So corny, Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus. You are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and with me from the TLOP crew today in the studio, we've got Mikey, Rocky, Vinny, my boy, Marketing Mike. We have with us Special K. She is the producer extraordinaire. Her name, Karina Mojica. And with me, per usual, co-founder of TLOP, my main man.
Oh, sorry. JC.
John Coleman.
Hey, what's poppin'?
Oh, 2026 is in the house. New year and honestly, new us. It's a new us, y'all. The audience probably knows this. We haven't really come out and formally discussed it, but for the past, 16 weeks, we've been showing a slightly varied version of TLOP, right? Like, people have been asking, where's JC? When's JC going to come back? Mike, you dropped this new format called the DO show, and we're trying to get that off the ground. So, JC, let's answer this question first. Where's JC been?
Fucking living my life away from you losers.
Okay, you heard it.
That was easy.
You heard it from the man himself. Living his life.
What's the narrative for this year? How we shouldn't be using AI because that's all we talked about last year. So we're going to lie to the people about this year, Dustin. Episode number 1.
Well, so episode number 1, John, we're actually going to talk about, because it's 2026, let's talk about 4 different ways that you can make more money in 2026. Because most people, not named John Coleman, work for money.
I like money.
I got a tip for you. Just don't have kids.
Well, then don't have kids. You need less money, but you still need some money. No?
Don't have a spouse.
Okay, but what if your spouse brings in all the money?
And you're shit out of luck. Hold on, what is it?
What the?
That's what that is. Yeah.
Let's go.
Very good. No, but for the audience, look, John and I have been at this for going on 6 years now, almost 600 episodes. And John is co-founder of all things TLOP. John is still around. He's a brand ambassador. He plays a crucial role for us behind the scenes. But one thing that he asked was like, hey, look, I think it's time that we go next level with our content. And he's like, y'all don't need me on every episode. And quite honestly, he wasn't enjoying being on every episode. Yeah. So we spent the past 16 weeks kind of reorganizing, regrouping, studying what has worked well for us, studying what you all want more of. And what we realized is that we should introduce you to more people within the TLOP crew. So it's not just me. Like, we have Stephen Barnett. You'll probably never see Stephen on an episode. We have Mark Holmes, who is moving here from Chicago to Orlando. You will see more of Mark.
Next week.
Next week, yeah. We have 5 coaches, plus we're adding new coaches to the mix, right? Y'all don't know about Ari and Karina, but Ari and Karina are the masterminds behind so much of what you see when it comes to our marketing and our social media. And these are all professionals in their own right with their own experiences that bring value to TLOP every day. We feel like it's doing an injustice not letting you get to know them and letting them come on and co-host. And don't worry, we will still continue doing the DO show, and I'll continue to have guests come on, and you'll see not less content, but more content and even better content. So that's kind of the goal of what we're doing. You can tell if you're watching us on YouTube that it's a different looking set. We finally have a yet again upgraded studio, and we're building it out. Like, this set's still not finished, but it's at a place right now where we feel good about it, that we felt like we could come and do our first episode. So this is the first episode that we've recorded in this format, but also the first episode that we are recording in 2026. Mike, before we stop and pause for today's show sponsor, just give people a quick rundown. Like, how did you get introduced to TLOP, and what role do you fulfill going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you already know, Dustin, JC, serial entrepreneur. I've had multiple small businesses over the last 8 or 9 years or so. I've grown companies from nothing to something. We met through Stephen Barnett, mutual friend of ours. You guys were ready to take TLOP's originator coaching to the next level. Meeting went great. I met with both of you guys, met with JC and yourself. We dove in, built a new website from the ground up, which we're actually going to rebuild
In
coming up
2026,
here
yep.
in 2026. So I'm pumped up about that. Turned on some programmatic marketing campaigns to start funneling in more traffic and build awareness about TLOP's originator coaching, which is a great platform for originators to level up. But it was about getting it in front of the right originator, right? So that's kind of where I came in, and we've been building it kind of, it's been baking in the oven last year. I feel like this year is going to be our breakout year. And I'm going to take on the role of marketing, and as you already know, stepping on toes on operations, stepping on toes for finance, just because that's my jam. I love business.
Here's what's interesting about the first time we met. It was at a Starbucks in Winter Springs, Florida. I remember the day like it was yesterday. We sat outside. It was borderline too hot to sit outside, but we still did. Pretty sure JC probably had smoked a bowl at least, if not had a couple Heinekens before the meeting started, which was on brand, right? Like, it's like if this guy's going to come and work for us and be a vendor, he needs to understand what he's getting himself into.
Yeah.
But it was at that meeting that I was impressed based on your entrepreneurial success, your entrepreneurial spirit. Like, sure, you know how to work a mic and a camera, and you're really good at building websites, and you understand programmatic marketing and JSON schema markup and all the stuff that's like way over my head. But I was like, but this guy is systems and he's processes. And honestly, for the first time in my career, I don't have to play the asshole role anymore. Like, I found someone else who's younger in life, but who has more experience when it comes to small businesses, who also like relishes in playing that role of, hey, we got to have systems and processes and SOPs and playbooks. So I'm super excited to have you as a part of this ownership team moving forward, all things TLOP. Yes, because of your creative aspect, but honestly more because of your entrepreneurial spirit and your ability to stay hyper focused on I-dotting and T-crossing.
Absolutely.
And then with you obviously comes your team, right? Like we have your wife, we have your sister-in-law.
Yep.
And your sister-in-law is our producer extraordinaire, right?
Yes.
So John Coleman for the past 16 weeks has been working with Karina behind the scenes with the equipment, answering her questions when it comes to editing. He was doing it this morning for an hour before we got started.
Yep.
And John's like, hey, look, it's time for me to pass my knowledge on to someone else, someone who's younger in their career, younger in life,
Help the youth.
and let them do so. And I said, well, if we're going to do it, let's make sure Karina gets on the show.
Yep.
So we have with us, and I don't know what I want to call you, right? So her
I like
last
Special
name,
K. I thought it was cool.
I love Special K, right?
Maybe her
Because
birth name. You could just call her birth name.
Nah, that's boring.
Just call her. Look at John.
Karina.
Yeah, we don't call you John.
Was that? Yeah.
Yeah, we call you JC.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
look,
John.
her last name is Mojica. So I was like, oh, the last of the Mohicans. She's like, well, people have already called me that. I'm like, well, that's not fun. Like, I want to be kind of somewhat original. So yeah, Special K.
I like it.
Yeah, I like Special K.
It's a
too.
drug that has ruined.
Isn't that the cereal?
Yeah.
Special K is
That's
a
the
street
best part about it.
It's a street drug from
It's
the
also
90s.
go ahead, John.
It's a street drug from the 90s.
It is a street drug from the 90s. You know,
I was born in 90. So.
Mike was born in 90 and Karina was born in the
Really?
20-aughts. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
so that
You don't
doesn't
even-
work
you
for
don't
us,
know
John.
Special K is a drug.
No.
Isn't that like, what is it, ketamine or something?
I'm sorry. Can you guys?
Okay.
Can we say that a few times, because I think the algorithm will pick it up and maybe we'll get some volume on this episode.
Yeah, see, this is why I didn't want to let the marketing guy come and be a part of the show.
Yeah.
So now that y'all have a little bit of a feel of who we are, Karina, you're mic'd up, right? Yes. So the people can hear from you. A little bit about your background. You've been working with your brother-in-law for how long now?
About 4 years, yeah.
Okay, and primarily what all have you been doing working for Mike's marketing agency?
I started off just doing like social media captions at first, and that was fun. That was cool. I started getting better at it, and then eventually he asked me if I wanted to do graphic design. And I remember this as well, like it was yesterday. I was at my friend's house, and he called me after work, and I was like, why is he calling me? Like, this is random. He was like, how would you feel like learning Photoshop if I got you a course and we can get you like learning graphic design? And I was like, oh, okay, like, sure, let's do it. That sounds fun. So he got me the course, which I never even finished the course, but I don't really need to at this point. So yeah, I started doing graphic design for a couple years, and then now with TLOP, I have been learning a lot more of the video editing part of it. So now it's kind of just social media marketing.
And filming.
And yeah, filming, it's filming now too. So post-production, graphic design, social media content.
So what excites you most about this year going forward? Like when you look at your career, you look at your involvement with TLOP, like what excites you?
The production part of it. I really like the cameras, and I like the video part. I like photography. I really want to get a camera and like start my own type thing, you know? Like, I don't know where I want to go from there, but I know I want to get the cameras, I want to get mics, maybe like vlogging, day in the life type thing, or like I love baking.
Are you gonna get a Sony or a Canon?
Definitely a Sony.
Anybody watching?
Team
Oh, hang on.
Sony.
Anybody watching that knows anything about cameras? I know Lone Originator is our audience, but if you know about cameras, drop in the comments what you like better. You like Canons?
You've already
or do you
ruined
like
the
Sonys?
aesthetic of the show
No, I
by
want to hear
having
what.
you on.
Let's hear it.
All right. So nonetheless, we're stoked to have you. Love having you be a part of the show. Is there anything that makes you nervous about being part of the show going forward?
I would say just not really being knowledgeable on the whole mortgage.
Don't worry, loan officers that work in the industry aren't knowledgeable about it, so it ain't no different.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of cool that I don't know anything because it's like it's a different perspective on things, and you guys can teach me things. So yeah, I think that's really it. Just not really knowing what you guys might be talking about.
Yeah, I like that answer because when people ask like, oh, what made the show the show? Obviously, JC made the show. But it was JC and his personality, but it was also the fact that he wasn't a mortgage guy, right? So much of me talking to John was me just talking to another realtor, another builder, another borrower, another home buyer, and John's his receptiveness to that content in those early years before he started tuning me out. It was authentic and it was real. So me personally, I like having you because you represent the future, right? Like you are. What do they call you? You're Gen
X or some dumb shit.
I haven't been keeping track.
Yeah.
Can you hear
Gen
me in
Z,
your
I
microphone?
lost
No,
track.
I'm X.
you hear
John,
me?
you're millennial. Are you millennial, Mike? Mike, you're millennial too. So you and John are both millennials.
Yeah.
I would be Gen X. You'd be Gen Z. So then,
Did
so
you Google
like,
it?
yeah. So then that way, like we represent all parts. So let's do this. We're going to get into today's episode because I teased everyone that we're going to talk about 4 ways you can make more money in 2026.
Right.
But before we do, let's go ahead and take a quick pause so we can hear from today's show sponsor.
Loan officers and branch managers, listen up. Lower Mortgage gives loan officers an edge. They're simplifying mortgages with tech that speeds up every step, from lead to close, so you can spend more time building relationships, not chasing paperwork. The result? More happy homeowners and more wins for you. Mortgage doesn't have to feel old school. Join Lower Mortgage, where top producers thrive. Visit company.lower.com or email my guy Craig Montgomery. It's cmontgomery@lower.com. That's CMONTGOMERY@lower.com.
Cool, and we're back.
And we are back. So I'm going to geek out a little bit. I know that we are all on time constraints. This crew could probably stick together for 2 hours and just shoot the shit, especially if we've got a couple Miller Lights and open up those bottles of bourbon.
Yep.
It's 2026. Most people have finished their business planning. If you haven't done so, hey, no better time to start than today, except for yesterday. That was a better day, but today's a good day. You need to sit down, you need to do your goal setting and your business planning, right? You start with a goal, but goals don't necessarily get you to the finish line. Plans do. So you set your goal, then you build a plan backwards with the end in mind to come up with, well, what are some things that I need to do in order to make 2026 a better version of me? In the words of James Clear from Atomic Habits, get 1% better per day.
Yep.
So as a loan originator, here's the first thing that I would tell them. And Mike, I'm curious to hear if this parlays with one of your other companies that you have,
Yeah.
right? Because you have a vodka company.
Baca.
You have
golf carts.
You have golf carts. You have a marketing agency.
We're about to have a fleet service company.
What is a fleet service? What does that mean?
Servicing all of the trucks for big enterprise companies like True Green, Massey.
It's a Ponzi
Aaron.
scheme, Dustin. It's
Yeah.
a Ponzi scheme.
Right now, we have the supply company. We supply them hose
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah. So when it comes to like sales, marketing, business, and running a business, you know a thing or two.
Yes, sir.
Been around the block. So the very first thing I'm telling a loan officer in 2026, by the way, I would have told you this in 2006. It probably worked in 1996, and it definitely works in 2016. The first thing that you need if you're going to make more money, you need more opportunities, aka more referrals or more leads.
Absolutely.
Right. If you want to make more money, focus on the things that generate the most leads or the best leads.
Right.
Like, so what is it about your day that you're currently doing that you need to do more of? And if you did more of that, it would help you generate more leads. So like the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, well, obviously if I had more referral sources, the odds are that I would have more leads. So the first thing I would say is, well, how many referral sources do you have? If you're a loan officer and you don't have a target list of 200 realtors and you don't have a list of 100 that you already know and that know you, okay, that's your first step. put together that target list of 200, and then make sure you get out and meet with face-to-face, in person, at least 100 of them, right? And by doing so, you should generate more leads. Now, for those that are more seasoned, you don't need more leads. Or I shouldn't say that, you don't need more lead sources. You still need more leads, but not more lead sources. You just need to get more out of the lead sources that you do have. Well, how do you get more out of the same lead sources that you do have? And by the way, I'm pulling from the textbook of TLOP originator coaching, but it's like, okay, do things like happy hours, lunch and learns, and send weekly newsletters. Like that type of a marketing strategy, although it's very guerrilla, it's very boots on the ground, those are ways that you can generate more leads.
What are some ways to build the list for the newsletters, right? Because I love that we teach that, and I love, newsletters, yes, but if you don't have the audience to send the newsletter to,
I mean,
what are some ways to build a list? Is it just boots on the ground? Is it the networking
Look at
events?
you asking follow-up questions.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I want to add value. Like, I think we should add value.
Yeah, no. So okay. I want you to answer your same question, Mike, but I'll give you my answer.
Okay.
Because my answer is boring.
Yeah.
But it's like my answer is what works. It's what works today. It's what worked 10 years ago, 20 years ago. One of the best compliments I got was the end of the year, we did this free call, right? We call them master classes. We had like over 300 people that registered for this master class. 150 actually got on. And I was like 2/3 of the way through it, and some guy was like in the comments section. He's like, "You sound like," and I don't even know who he said I sounded like. And I literally responded with, "That dude must be successful." Right? All he's doing is regurgitating, and he like named someone who's been coaching since the 1990s. I'm like, yes, 100%. Like 100%. We're right now in college football playoffs, and we have NFL playoffs going on. One of the best times of the year. Plus the weather's pretty good down here in Florida. And you start studying these 4 coaches that are left in the college football playoffs, all 4 of them worked under Nick Saban. So guess what all 4 of them do? Teach Nick Saban shit.
Yeah.
Guess what? Because it works, right? Because it works. So I'm going to tell you all things because it works. Okay. So that's what I told the guy that was trying to like somewhat be a distractor. I wouldn't say he's being a hater, just kind of being a distractor, where I guess he hopped on the call hoping to find out like some new miraculous like pill that he can swallow and it's going to make his business do a 180. I'm like, no, it's the same shit. The one thing that we do different is we teach it from a place of like, we're in the trenches with you, so we know this still works, or we teach it in a style that resonates for the 2030s and not necessarily what resonated like in the 20 teens. So you asked me if I wanted to build a list for realtors, what would I do? Well, I would utilize services like MMI, Model Match, Redder. By the way, I'm rocking my Model Match hat today, so shout out to Eric Levin for that.
Yes.
I would do pop-bys and work open houses, and I'd go through my past closings and make sure I had every listing agent that was on that and every agent that was on my target list. Like the guerrilla boots on the ground is just by collecting names and numbers of everyone in my local market. How I built mine, there's this thing called Google. You can go to Google and you can type in Keller Williams, EXP, Coldwell Banker, and then insert either the zip code or the city, and you go to their website and they have an agent roster.
Yep.
Right? Like there are so many different ways. How would you do it?
Well, low key, I would do it that way, but I don't want to talk about because we're kind of breaking the Can Spam Act when we collect an email address and send.
Oh Jesus, who brought the compliance police with us?
However, if we did it that way, you would use a platform like Sendex for the sender that masks the IP address. You have a dedicated IP for each unique send so that the domain can't get blacklisted. But
okay, so
I know that's a little technical.
Hold on, you would buy a list.
I would buy a list and I would scrape and I'd harvest the same way you suggested.
Wait, scrape and harvest, is that going on Google and going on
That's
Model Match and Redder and
that's
MMI?
realtor near me on Google, boots on the ground, and literally going to the websites and collecting the 10 realtors that are on the Remax Orlando office, like whatever it might be. And then doing those cold sends. If we want to stay compliant, there is a better way, and it's complex, but I know we always talk about the modern loan originator and creating a list of realtors the hard way and the old school way is great. The new school would be something like, I would make a flyer on Canva. Canva has a great AI tool. You can plug in prompts and it'll create a flyer for some sort of webinar that you would host. And this is how you led. So I was on board with that. Put it onto Facebook, right? Run a Facebook ad, put some budget behind it. have a registration link on there through your Zoom platform, whatever it might be, and build a 300-person audience that you're going to have this webinar for, and collect the email addresses as they come in, because then they're compliant. As they're filling out that form, they're checking the box that says, yes, I acknowledge that my information might be used. And now you have your list. And you do that 6, 7, 8 times, 6, 7.
6, 7. Jesus.
6, 7.
Did you go there?
I did. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
I had to do it. I'm a millennial.
You're a child, Michael.
Yeah, but then you send off to that list and you do it 6 or 7 times a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like that. So, so number one way to make more money in 2026, generate more referrals, get more leads.
Oh, are you going to ask me? Just kidding.
I do want to ask you. I'm
Don't
waiting.
give a shit. Only losers save money. I live my life. Next.
I am waiting. But you know what, John? Here's the deal. It is way easier to save money when you focus on earning. Right?
But then if you focus on earning, you got to work hard for the money.
Yeah, she does. She works hard for the money.
For the
Yeah,
money.
she does.
Yeah.
They don't.
Well,
Okay.
number two.
Number two.
Number two way, if you don't want to generate more leads, all you need to do is increase your lead conversion. Maybe you're getting enough leads, but you need to increase your lead conversion, right? So many times people ask me like, hey, Dio, what makes TLOP's originator coaching different than everything else? I'm like, besides like our coaches being our coaches, besides our cost being our cost, besides, look, y'all know what you're getting. Like, check out the YouTube channel, listen to the podcast. Like, this is the flavor that we're bringing. I go, but what makes this different is everyone wants to tell you what to do, but we all know what to do. Few know how and why. If you don't know the why, you're not going to do it. And if you don't know the how, you're going to get stuck with that whole paralysis by analysis. So the second way that you can make more money in 2026, you can do so by increasing your lead conversion. Okay, how would you increase lead conversion? Well, the easiest way is to relentlessly pursue every lead till they buy or die. You don't need any fancy technology. Literally an Excel spreadsheet, a spiral notepad, pick up the damn phone, call, text, email till that person either purchases your service or passes away or they get a restraining order on you. Like, those are really the 3 things that we're going for. And if you're doing that, you might as well then pick up the phone and call the referral source and give them an update. And while you have them on the phone, hit them with my 4 favorite words. Who do you know who is also looking to obtain a mortgage because they want to buy a house? Because I'd love to work with them too, right? Like, every time we talk to someone, we should hit them with who do you know? We coach that incessantly. So for our coaching members who tune into the show, I apologize. You had to hear it yet again for probably the 5th time this week. So I'm increasing my lead conversion. That's the probably easiest way. Now, another way that I can increase my lead conversion is what's my approach? What's my performance? Every time I get a chance to talk to a borrower, it's a performance. Is my performance audio only? Is it text only? Or is it audio, text, and video? Meaning, am I just trying to email and text someone? Lowest form of conversion. Am I having a conversation with someone? A higher form of conversion? Or am I doing an in-person meeting or a Zoom meeting? Right? Just by having that type of a performance, I'm going to increase my odds of getting them to do business with me. On top of just like, what do I sound like when they talk to me? Right? Am I knowledgeable? Am I a consultant? Am I an advisor? Am I teaching them? Or am I just taking an order? Right? Those that convert leads to the highest percentage build rapport and trust early and upfront, and they have a conversation that just sounds way different than it does when you're talking to an order taker. There's nothing wrong with being an order taker if you're getting started, but once you have 2, 3, 4 years experience, no, order taking is no longer where you need to be. You need to be a little bit of a performance artist. So I would say the second way, definitely, if you want to make more money in 2026, is just convert leads you have at a higher percentage. What are some ways that you've had success converting leads at a higher percentage?
I mean, we could talk about process first. I mean, having a process, having an offer structure, something to present to the consumer when you get in front of them, whether it's you or your staff, there's psychology behind it to convert. Number 2, what I was going to say earlier was your goal as a sales representative, whether you're a loan originator or whether you're working at Best Buy selling TVs, you need to get an answer. You have to get a yes or a no at the end of the day. So if you're touching your contacts once or even twice and you didn't get a yes or a no, and you're considering that now a dead lead, you're failing. You will never be successful, especially in 2026 in today's world where leads are more scarce. It is harder for lead generation now than it was 4 years ago. So yeah, I mean, building a process, having an offer structure and getting a yes or a no off of your list it fundamentally will convert at a higher rate.
JC, you have made a living out of getting people to do what you want them to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that to me that is lead conversion.
Yeah.
Like when you think of lead conversion, what comes to mind to you?
Just lowering the price.
Okay.
It's
But you know what? It's interesting.
In some cases.
I was trying to tee John up because John taught me something very early on in our relationship that I still use today. And it's this. If John wants you to pick a particular thing, he will give you 3 options, but he will make sure that one of those three options is god awful.
Trash.
It is god awful. The other 2 options are so similar that he probably doesn't care which one you choose. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you learned that or that was taught to you, but to me, that is something we do in the mortgage world. Our borrowers don't need to shop us against competition if we allow them to shop us within the services that we provide. Right? So I teach loan officers, give 3 options. You start giving 3 options to every borrower. You let them know up front in that initial consultation that you're going to give them 3 options. They don't need to necessarily shop you at that standpoint because they're going to shop within your realm, right? And I actually learned that from John Coleman.
Wow.
He probably didn't know he was doing lead
It's
conversion.
more of a graphic design thing. Usually when you have to get something approved from marketing people who have no like design eye, you give them like one horrible option, which they usually go with, and the 2 that you want them, like the 2 that you really want to get approved.
He's absolutely right. We have done that many times, so that's awesome.
But that's just a little secret.
Yeah.
Rule number 3 on how you can make more money in 2026.
Rule number 3, oh, wow, that was loud. Rule number 3, John, is the opposite of what you just said.
Don't give them
Make
options.
more money per transaction, right? If you get really good in your systems, in your processes, and you've been relentlessly following up with them, and you've built rapport, you should be able to sell service, right? So do I need to generate more leads or increase my lead conversion if I just increase the basis points I made per loan? If I could make 10 bips more per loan and I did 18 million last year, I just made 18 grand more and I didn't do any more work.
Yep.
I just got better at selling my product or my service. So the third way is literally look for ways that you can make more money. Now, as a loan officer, we get paid mainly on loan size. Mm-hmm. So then all of a sudden I tell them, we'll start doing loan products or targeting certain areas or certain markets that have a higher average loan size. New construction tends to have a higher average loan size. So if you have a way to do new construction, whether it's through builder forward commitments or construction to permanent financing, CP loans, also known as one-time close, then by doing those types of loans, you will inherently do higher loan amounts, you'll make more money. But so many of us are out there and we are dropping down to the lowest common denominator, which is pricing, which is the last place you ever want to compete because you'll always find someone to do it cheaper and then someone to do it cheaper, someone to do it cheaper. It's a game of chicken that you end up playing. And well, that's not fun at all because someone ends up dying when you play a game of chicken, at least the way I've seen it on TV. So yeah, number 3 is for me, just learn to make more money. Mike, I know you and I listen to Alex Hormozy. We've read a couple of his books, and today I was listening to him on my during my workout, and he had a call-in show. So one of his clients had called in and was asking Alex for advice, and his advice was pretty simple: stop selling to the people who are buying your $1,500 product and start selling to the people who are buying your $50,000 product.
Absolutely. Sell to the rich, leave the stimmies at home.
100%. Yes, 100%. It's not like I tell people everyone deserves our time. Some people have earned 2 minutes, some have earned 2 hours, others have earned 2 days.
Yep.
Right? It's not that we don't assist all humans. No, be a good human. However, there's only so many hours in the day that you're willing to work. Right? We have to put those hours towards those that produce the best number of results.
Yeah.
Now we have the 4th way. The 4th way that we can earn more money in 2026 if we've already generated more leads, we have already increased our lead conversion, we have increased our commission. What is it? You ready for it?
You forgot. Now you're just stalling.
I didn't forget.
I was just going to jump and be like...
No, I combined 3 and 4 together.
Oh.
Okay.
Like one was increase your average commission. The other one's increase your average loan size.
Right.
Right. So those are 3 and 4 together.
Increase your margins.
So 3 and 4 will increase your margin, but also increase your ticket.
Yeah.
Right. So like if I can increase my margin, which my margin is my comp. If I'm a loan officer, my margin is my commission. If I'm a realtor, if I can increase my margin, heck, if I'm a financial advisor, like I can increase my margin. If I can increase my margin and increase my average sale, those are 2 ways that I combine into one. So ultimately, there's 4 ways that you can make more money in 2026. As a recap, and we'll do this for Karina and her social media posts, 4 ways to increase your income in 2026. Number 1, increase your leads. Number 2, increase your lead conversion. Number 3, increase the commission you earn per transaction. Number 4, increase your average purchase price or loan amount. Like those are the 4 ways. Karina, I know you wanted me to mention something before we parted.
What is it that you wanted to mention about the TLOP advisory coaching?
Oh, yeah, just a heads up. Many people, you're following me already on LinkedIn. If you're not, first name Dustin, last name Owen. Make sure that we're connected on LinkedIn. I post a lot of great content on there, but one thing I posted recently is this quarter in 2026, we're going to be launching TLOP's career advisory services. I've already helped a dozen loan originators this year, one of which ended up finding a new career opportunity. But 4 of the dozen, I've actually been able to help them negotiate a better setup by staying with their current employer.
Yep.
Right? So it's a free service. Right now, if you want to be a part of that service, you can literally hit me up on LinkedIn or just email me, do@tloponline.com. It's where I'll spend 20, 30 minutes with you, giving you free career advice, help you navigate a very difficult situation that many of us find ourselves in. I'm doing this because I have found throughout my 20-year career, the service doesn't exist, right? Recruiters are always the ones in power and the hiring managers are always the ones that are negotiating, but there's no one representing the loan originator. So you all will be hearing more about this service come February and March of 2026. But for now, I don't want to like slow play it and not offer the service. So I'm fielding inquiries. If you are thinking about going through a career change, thinking about changing employers, before you do, if you want a disinterested third-party opinion that comes with 20 years experience, reach out to me. I'd love to be able to help you.
And it's not, and what excites me about this service is not just the service itself, right? The placements. It's you have so much experience in the mortgage industry. You've attended dozens and dozens of events. You've networked plenty of times. I think that the value is through the networking and the connections that you've established over the years.
No, so just stay tuned for that. And look, keep tuning in. This was our first episode back in the new year.
I'm
this
proud
was
of
after.
you, Mike. You really made an
What's that?
I'm proud of Mike.
Yeah,
You think I made an impact?
Yeah, because you ask questions and you seem interested, which is a breath of fresh air on this podcast.
JC, we have to figure out how to get you back more often. If we started a GoFundMe, okay, what if we did this? What if we started a GoFundMe,
Dustin.
and every time that GoFundMe account got $1,000 in it, you had to come back in the studio and do another episode with us? Would you do that? Would you sign up for that?
Probably not. That can't even get me.
Who says no to a GoFundMe?
Because money doesn't excite me.
Oh man,
That's true.
You know, true story. What excites John? When TLOP blows up, John said he will feel all the joy that every other entrepreneur feels when they have financial success. John will have that same success just by this content taking
just by
off.
knowing it blew up.
Okay, so instead of a GoFundMe, do this.
No. You still do the GoFundMe.
Oh, still do the GoFundMe.
No, still do it, but 1,000 is too low for the about like 5.
Okay, so we need to figure out a way to get JC back on the show because you have not made a commitment to us for how often you're going to show up in 2026.
It's more fun that way
a
when
free
you have a
agent.
surprise guest pop in, like ha ha ha. I look forward for Stephen Barnett to be sitting in the hot seat one day.
That might not ever happen.
Yeah, I think it's more likely that we'll have you on every episode than it is for Steven to hop in the
Then y'all
hot seat.
Then y'all are smoking Special K. If you
Yeah,
think
we
I'm
are
okay.
smoking.
Let's go.
If you think that's it.
Yeah.
But no, this is cool. I look forward to doing more of this stuff. This is gonna be cool. I'll be behind the camera, but yeah.
No, JC's not going anywhere, but you may see him less often. But don't worry because we got Marketing Mike, aka
Marketing Mike.
Mikey,
Magic
Rocky, Vinny. Like this is the only dude that I've met that's not 80 years old that has 4 names, right? Michael, Rocky, Vincetta, Siciliano.
Is that
I'm
your
like
name for real?
literally.
No, it's Vitucci. It's Vitucci. But I like the play on Vinny, so we're gonna stick with it.
I'm like who's this guy Mikey, Rocky, Vinny? So yeah, some people have.
You know what? The most important thing to people are their names.
Shut up.
So
Yes.
the best thing you can do is
Oh my
that's-
God,
right?
he's pulling out
How
Dale
to-
Carnegie.
how to
Listen, you're
win
pissing me
friends
off. I'm
and
leaving this
influence
at.
people,
I'm walking
please.
off. That's so corny. I'm out. You're so
JC's
dumb.
out. Mike and I will sit here and wrap up the show.
You're so corny, Mike. You're such a cornball. That's all you
Look
do.
at that.
Go on, get.
I'm trying to get JC to come back more often, and Mike's chasing him off.
Yo, tell me more about their marketing strategy. How can we do more?
See you, bud.
All right, JC, great seeing you. Thanks for stopping by.
Love you, bro.
JC came to hang out with us. Y'all, we do need to figure out a way to get JC back on the show more often.
Yes.
He has made no promises, but he's also made no threats either.
Right.
Right. He'll be around. He just says, hey, I want to be around in a different format. He is Mr. Producer Extraordinaire, behind the scenes gal. He is the studio build out. He's been a big part of the camera setup. I mean, the lighting, like John is a big part of it. He just has less interest being a personality on the show, which is why we're going to bring Mike on. We introduced you to Karina today. We're going to introduce you to Mark, who we call the Deacon. We make fun of him by calling him Money Mob.
Money Mob.
But he is the Deacon. You'll absolutely love him. He is my chief of staff. He's my right hand. He's been my everything TLOP from day one. He's a bit of my ride or die, but I'm even trying to get my girl Laura Zalago to come in. We call her Zulu.
I'm excited for that.
She is a badass entrepreneur, but she's also like a world champion triathlete.
Yep.
She crushes it out there, and we're gonna get her on hopefully in the next episode or two.
Yeah.
And what we were trying to say before John had to just get up and leave is John does get his excitement when this platform grows.
Right.
So if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure you do so. We are TLOP Entertainment on YouTube. That is where you'll find Coach's Corner. You'll find Talk Mortgage to Me. You'll see Mortgage School, the DO Show, plus 2 episodes a week going forward of the Loan Officer Podcast. Now, if you like to listen to podcasts because you're just an old school radio head, fine. Spotify, Apple are fantastic places for you to listen to this content. Just make sure when you're on those platforms, you give us a 5-star review. Those 5-star reviews is how we introduce more people to this content. Karina, you and I will get better at this as time progresses, but I meant to give shout outs earlier on in the episode, but I'll do it right now before we wrap things up. I want to give a quick shout out because here we are doing our first episode in 2026, and looking at our calendar, I'm excited. Like, I'm legitimately, heart is smiling. I'm feeling some days nervous, some days scared, most days excited in every positive way. But like this year kicks off with, I'm speaking at Novus Home Mortgage's annual sales conference. That's in Orlando, Florida. It's for one of my mentors in the industry, Eric Egenhofer, and his entire team. So I'm excited about that. I'm then flying out to Denver, Colorado to hang out with Mickey Schilling and the entire crew over at Megastar Financial. So stoked about the trip to Denver, excited about the opportunity to participate in their annual sales conference. We then have Mortgage Con. So Mortgage Con, y'all have heard me talk about it. It's one of the coolest, if not the coolest, mortgage conference.
I can't wait.
In the industry. Yeah, it's kind of like how we all came together. You, me, Steven, the whole crew, Karina, Ari, like we knew each other prior to, and we were engaged in business.
That was the kickoff.
That was the kickoff. Yeah. That was the catalyst, right? It was at that Mortgage Con conference. I had a chance to speak at it last year. I got a chance to participate in a really cool thing that they're doing, which is kind of like a, I call it like a dance-off.
Yeah.
But it's like they're going to have 4 of us on the stage. We have 40 minutes. Each of us are only given 10 minutes to give our best presentation. So they put me in the category of leadership. So I get 10 minutes to do my best leadership presentation. Then the audience will vote on, of the 4 people who competed, the audience votes who did they resonate with the most.
You're going to crush it.
It's not who was best. It was just in the moment, who did the audience resonate with, right? Because we don't want to, we're all colleagues, we're all friends, we all support the industry in the same manner. So we don't want to have like winners and losers, but we definitely want to have someone who resonated the best. So I'm excited about doing that. And we're supposed to podcast like 4 to 6 times at Mortgage Con.
Are you ready, Karina? That's a lot of heavy lifting.
Dude.
I'm very nervous.
Yeah.
Karina, this is the backstage at Universal Studios. Like, we will be on Universal Studios property in one of their like sound studios backstage lot. It's really freaking cool. And then all the after hours events are done in the park. So imagine being like in Harry Potter land during a mortgage event. Like Harry Potter land, cool. Mortgage events, they could be, hit or miss. Yeah. So nonetheless, I'm excited about that. And then finally, Town Bank.
Yep.
So our friends, and they're avid listeners. So shout out to Town Bank Mortgage, Virginia. They're all up in that Mid-Atlantic region. And they operate under several JVs as well as Town Bank Mortgage. But I'm super excited that in February, I'm going to head out to Town Bank and do their event. And you know what's crazy? I had to turn down opportunities already.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. So my friends in Atlanta who work for Highland Mortgage reached out. They wanted me to come up and do something for them, but it was when I was already booked. And our friends at Luminate Bank had reached out, wanted me to come up to Minnesota, participate in one of their events. Unfortunately, was already booked out. I'm probably only going to be up to speaking 12 to 14 times this year. Like, I don't mind being on the road 16 times, but some of those times on the road, I don't want to be presenting because I want to be there participating.
Yeah.
You know, something like Housing Wires, The Gathering, I would rather attend that necessarily than quote unquote work
we need
that.
we need you at HQ too, building the business behind the
Yes.
scenes. So we need you at HQ.
Well, yeah, these loan officers don't coach themselves.
Right.
Right now, granted,
Absolutely.
we have 5 badass coaches.
Yep.
And my job is more to manage the faculty and coach the coaches.
Yes.
Right. So the coaches can come out and coach our students. I do like to be heavily involved, heavy-handed in coaching. Speaking of coaching, y'all, if 2026 is the year that you are going to stop trying to guess, ask people to help you shorten your learning curve, learn from others who have come before you that produce at a very high level, I will tell you there's no better value in the industry than what we offer at TLOP's Originator Coaching. There just isn't. I built it based on value. I literally based it on those people are charging $3,000 a month for what I think you can get for $3,000 a year.
Yep.
Right? Those people are charging $600 a month, but no one who is coaching has ever done a loan. I'm like, we can give people, top producers who are teaching what they did to get on top, what they're doing to stay on top. And we can do so at a price point, at an investment that makes sense for us and is extremely valuable to the mortgage community. So we are out to shape the future of the mortgage industry. We started so with the podcast. We now do so with the YouTube channel. We have the newsletter.
Yep.
And then now we have coaching. And there's 4 ways that you can come coach with us. You can join our community, right? That is the number one value. Okay. You can be a part of one of our boot camps that has offered an amazing opportunity to the right originators to literally level up, launch, or bounce back in their careers. And we have crazy success, crazy results.
We have a ton of testimonials.
Oh
that
my
we need
God.
to get out there on social.
A
Yeah,
ton. And
a
I'm
ton.
really wanting to take that to the enterprise level.
Yep.
I'm waiting for who are those first 5 or 6 companies
Yep.
that want me to enroll 30 or 40 of their originators into this boot camp. The same boot camp that creates rookies of the year, top producers, help people increase their income by 50%, right? That same boot camp that helps someone go from $1 million a month to $3 million a month. I would love to do that for an entire organization where I can slide in and over a 6-month period of time, put their LOs or their mortgage brokers through that same exact curriculum.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. And then finally, the last thing I'm excited about, we have advanced coaching and elite coaching. We were not offering this in 2025.
Right.
Advanced coaching is your way to get everything that's a part of the community plus more accountability, because you're going to be put in a small group with 3 of your peers. And that small group's going to meet outside of the community twice a month with a dedicated coach. And elite, well, that's taking it next level. You're getting everything in the community, but instead of being in a small group with 3 of your peers, no, you're getting one-on-one
huge, yeah.
with your coach.
Unmatched value.
Yes.
Yep.
And you're doing that for 6 months where everything will be customized and personalized, hardcore accountability, but nothing changes if nothing changes. And we all go through phases in our life and our career where we need that type of intentionality to make the change that we so desire. So on that note,
And
y'all.
you know what, Dustin?
Yeah.
We should do this more often too. If you're interested in coaching, go ahead and drop a comment. I want coaching on this episode, and someone will reach out to you within 24 hours.
So let me ask you this. That works really well when you're on YouTube.
Yeah.
What if someone hasn't yet gone to our YouTube channel and clicked subscribe and they still listen to us on Spotify or Apple?
Thank you for cleaning that up. www.tloponline.com. Go to the coaching page, click on the coaching tab, and there's some options for you to get in touch with us on there.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Are you for hire?
Absolutely.
Are you really?
I'm always for hire.
Okay. We should maybe lean into that, because earlier in today's episode, you dropped some marketing knowledge that I'm sure some people's heads were spinning. Some people was like over their head.
Yeah.
That other people that was their favorite part.
Yeah. absolutely.
They just bought into
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean-
is it through Easy Living? Is
Yeah,
that? I mean, that's how I found you, was through Easy Living.
Yeah. Just Mike at easylivingteam.com. I'm in my inbox 24/7, so shoot me an email and let's connect. That's awesome.
I mean, look, I met Mike because he was a marketing agency local to me that was referred to me by someone who had used his service to scale his business 10x.
Yep.
Right. So that's how we met. It just so happened we kind of hit it off, and I've kind of claimed at least 15 to 20% of him full time to come be a part of what we're doing at
100%,
TLOP.
yeah. And I'm excited.
But
Can't
yeah,
wait.
this is a service that, look, if y'all need a badass marketing agency, or you at least want to take and explore those marketing opportunities, you check out Mike at easylivingteam.com.
Yep.
Karina, any parting words for your new audience?
Are
You don't
are
know.
you excited?
Yeah. Let me ask a question. How nervous were you going into today?
Right.
No, I wasn't nervous. I was excited. I was excited. I knew,
Good.
I was excited.
I mean, you did your hair, you did your makeup, you probably woke up like 30 minutes earlier for us.
For sure.
I'll be honest, we didn't feature you a lot today because I know we were having some mic issues. But I'm excited to have you, not just behind the camera, which I know excites you, and doing the editing and the audio, but I want to have you and your youthful, awesome personality present, because you will ask questions that there are
Right.
people that are listening and watching that they had the same exact questions that you do, and they're kind of relying on you to be their boots on the ground. So we're excited to have you a part of this. We'll continue to grow together. We all will grow in our own individual roles. I don't know if Mike will be on every episode. Karina will be on just about every single one because she is our producer extraordinaire. But check this out, y'all. Thank you so much for taking the time to come hang out with us. He is Mike Siciliano. She is Karina Mojica. I am Dustin Owen. You have just tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast. If you dig what we do, all we ask you to do is share, because sharing is caring. And as my friend the Easy Button would say,
that was easy.
that was easy.
Nailed it.
That is all the time we have for y'all today. We do look forward to catching you, though, on the next episode. Peace.